Leaving me, leaving. I don't know. Okay, I'm over it. Anyway, oh, anyway, is there any kind of things to develop Daffy Duck? You're disgusting. Anyway, Pathakusuntashan. Kanban. You're tall. When you were young, you're so hot. Didn't we caught a taxi and went to Three Faces in the commercial road? How are you going now, mate? Me, you, and Gazon back then in Three Faces. Heaps of pufters. Someone gave me $20 because I was like 15 years old. I caught a taxi home to my man's. Oh, well, never mind. It's not illegal. I just come out so quick, and that's why. I wish I was 10 years old, and then, I would have left my parents and lived in the street and homesick pay and eat rubbish food and learned how to economy, the government. Yeah, just kidding. So anyway, new Cameron at Russ House. How old are you again? I forgot. But you retired, haven't you? You love plants and native, but you lost your business. Wow. How's BIM? Brain injury matters. Josh. Don't know. It's just a stick figure of knowing the astronaut of. Look. Did you burp? Anyway, anyway, is there any kind of things to attribute the semantics in relation to our next scientific calculator? Because the archetype of our croc is a Nia. And in that way, the river to the sand is just a notion of knowing that our pus is our tap sink of Dan in relation to trade any kinds of gold coin by Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp, based on your straight man, how come he likes me? When I was young, buying fish in St. Kilda Aquarium, he said, "You look like Johnny Depp." I don't even look like Johnny Depp. Oh, anyway, things of our life, things of our unlife, and things of our no life, and things of our in life, and things of our no life. So in those things of life, what do we know that our lesbian is just a, luck of demons. I like it. Do you? What are demons? I haven't seen any demons. Let's go demon. Just a bunch of cocks. Ugh. Anyway, nah, it's just a picture. One of from, my WordPress or whatever. Ew. But anyway, I'm sick of it, pretty much. So, Morong, Dishota Santasan. The PK Katana, the PMS5 is just an introduction of digital DPI in relation to our text printer machine because office work. How are things going in relation to your sector? No. Do we have any stock sale in relation to our exchange to production, the Reserve Bank in relation to sectors of info to say because in that way each of our money is a earns of minimum because our minimal of earns is just a confirmation. So in that way, Japan, because of knowing that Lucy Liu looks pretty big son, del trush del lakle. So in that way, how do we questo turning and guide for bras and beads and equal of our maths to understand the processing of Parama because in Parama our stock market is only utero of SIO in relation to our Guardia and to review how to process our income system of 21, 58, 35, 46, 21, 94 Saturday of Lokdara. So in that way, how do we know that the summer? No, how do we know that the egale is the question of the earned existence? So in that way, Lucilu, what is our thingamam of to do in relation to our next? Because in relation to QBO Volume 10, Quantitative, how does Bill Gates got diamonds in six-pack and 24 lusts of knowing that our eyes is red, very red. It's just person of disability count of vampire to know that our next setup is Blackstone. So in that way, how do we know that the official is knowing so no? Like a song on someone. Are you tired? I am. It's just. Oh. um, we know how to block of a true lover. I'm just a messy ass fucker to perform the next G string. It is. No. No. Yeah. You know. Method. Um. Scientist, do we have any stock market to exchange the currency in relation to our next? Ah. Oh, forget about it. It's just, stocking 58, restoring 59, reserving 21, plus 5C through home. No. I had enough of faggots in relation to manhood and bilakasitato of. It's just, I don't know anything anymore. So, how come I have not confirmed the educator of. Ah, is there any kind of things to mole dedicate of currency exchange to warholder and complex total? Because maturely the official form of knowing how to digital the round Wallongström. Oh, I have a weird brain. I think I'm off my teeth. I don't know, do you? But anyway, Drew, any kind of things to understand who Dan is? I don't know who Dan is, do you? There's heaps of Dans, and there's heaps of Alan. So in that way, Drew, you know, any cocksuckers. Aren't you married with another Asian? You are, aren't you? Oh, okay. But anyway, this to know that I look at Atlantis to know. I'm going to be bothered. Alla pedo di si ciuciuta da sa tu dalle che si casa tu da sa kana mele de chita sena de le sa copa di le chapta sa tala to pelo kata dalle che senta san dalle ka kosho di galang kata koshi dalle sin kantan me kale ke sa tasha dalle koshina Tisra karaktersin delle kodusho. Bekele kele kele bekele kele kele Tota tishale kini Tola kochakalaka Dinika kele kala Dichoto palakasa Dilako Dichana Disa. I'm gay. Hmm? So anyway, just waking up in relation to trying to figure out. Don't know. Do you? Da, 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 da. I'm over it. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy. So, um, sector 11.9 divided by 52. Oh, sector 29 divided by 2 times 1 minus 12 plus 12 times 18 minus 3 transum equals 215.5. Transum 56 times 51 plus 89 times 12 plus 1 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 8 times 2 times 2 times 6 times 2 times 1 plus 500. 7,496 divided by 12% equals 62,466,667. Okay. 49 blocker 51 Divsum. 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 3 10 Fox trans. So in this way of the history of our world, the Kikatasan of our ordering system will actually be formulating into the drop cut of Hesho or drop cut of things in relation to our separator and also to manifest the Dalsana. Because in that way, the conference of our work, we will signal the appliance to form the next sequence of picture frame to influence on our orders. Because our history of our grammar is that the velocity of our own Christendom is that our verbal vocabulary will be in Stakana in relation to the next marker side. So in that way, the technology will implicate the IBM in relation to Sasa. So fifth, 6, 1. Starshine. piston, worm, data, reflex. So, 21, 56, 5C. Good. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 times 52 plus 29 divided by 400 equals plus 29 minus 3658 equals plus 12.6 times 21.5 times 56.3 times 56.5. Set ink timer, lap 6, quantum. Disk, disk, take, ship, she, So, Delakasa Katasana Kotashon is the next history of our magnifier, because our magnifier is that our conversion of our magnifier is that the stocking of the external is the kolokolon in relation to the provision to separate into the transum, because in that way the ekala of the Kashantasan is the amount of income production to service the poor, because the income production is that the politician will reform itself into the Shikashon. Hey. So in that way, the Lokonom of the 24 Delegan is that Nicholson of our own hibernation will also galakara the next compu, because in the next compu, how do we know that the indexon will be balanced in the next digital, because our digital color is a citizen of the printing company to also um, satirize the owned Palanga by self-portrait in relation to our own insight, and to develop the next Bill Gates in relation to IBM. But Oracle, what's Oracle? Is that Microsoft or IBM? Don't know, sorry. So in that way, the legally of our IBM is the synthesis of our law to insist our next availability to also conference into the ancestors for our asset and achievability of our own time frame to remap the geo. So in that way, to remap the geo, the lesson of our office works is that the nickname of our balance to share the owned income system and to throw in the bin when they run out or buy the next one. Don't know. It's just in that way the confusion of office work is that the legacy of our Messiah is to glycosend the law and integrate the next technology. Because the wham bam thank you ma'am is the divider by Watson law to indicate the vector and also to achieve the next progression. Victor, how you going? Haven't seen you for ages. So in that way, when you know the allegory of dishes, we can conquer the next division to support Soul Blaster in relation to not supernova in relation to Dindanon. Yeah, and in that way, Sri Lanka, the conversion of your ilu Dalnakasa is that the office work is just a negative of the lawyer to Plakason, the antiphon. Because the antiphon is that Dino Dindon. So in that way, when the courtesy of our law, based upon the plaintiff, the next sequel of the platform by Morris is the Tukatatum. But Morris, did you know the history who started your company? Oh, it's on Facebook. Oh, wrong one. It's in my blog. Oh, but I could, yeah. I got a very cool name. I'm running out of data. You know. Oh, don't worry about it. So anyway, in relation to our next sentence of our wiki, in relation to our provision to liberate into the law, the Agalaitai is a subsum of our own Tansan, because the majority of our own Tansan is that the integral by the law serping into the subsum of Google. But in Yahoo, the content of Lono is that my account is Dushishish Obla Gratin on MSN, but Yahoo has a certain amount of channel like channel 7, channel 9, etc. So in that way, later we will set those things up to provide news reporters and entertainment and sports and stuff like that. So in that way, we can also sequel into the application to transfer the resources as well as building up together for our life cycle and to assist our community and singers of Senno. In that way, the next new Cameron will develop the plants in relation to gardener and also to fossil the Igana. So in that way, if the fifth revision is to support the Nakatsai, we will re-index the Nakakata of our Bondo phone. So in that way, the food we eat, the developers of the supplier will deploy into Woolies or IGA in relation to our packaging and to develop the next graphic arts. So Wharton Law to develop the next graphic arts in relation to our points of sale is that the provision to liberate into the law in relation to estate. So in that way, if we can hold on into the next dimension of the galaxy, we will review the next provision to liberate into the law of the owned Eric Brockovich to second the next good law. So in that movie, I really love it. In that movie, she won so much millions. So in that, yeah. So anyway, in that way, the next plaintiff based upon poison in our oil, poison in our caution, etc., and also poison in our liberation of plaintiff is that it's owned by a caution will by Sectaton, the next Deuteron of civil rights in relation to Ong and to confess into the Elegate. So the next development based upon our caution of biohazard is that the liberation will develop into the next sector of Devalaka. So the next one will be junction of our law and to the income productor. So to our mighty teacher, when I joined your school, whilst I was designing PHP BBE, I don't remember that teacher. He showed me a beautiful poster, you know, the one with the question mark and that one. That's graphic arts. No, I don't know what you call that. Just topography or grammar of Kolokova. So in that way, the next Australia in front will melekathesis the K10 in relation to my solve troller, and in that way the next builder will transform the trailer of the parameters in relation to our own galaxy. So in that way, in relation to our own galaxy, the next manifestation will boycott the protects in relation to division to support the interstar and also to return into the Nicodem of E-star. And in that way, we will develop the next proof of our own sanctioning of community and to develop our sieges of platform. So in that way, the leucocist of our own minimum, we will rework into the next insurance policy and to develop the next antidote. So in that way, the 1009, 1006 and 1004 is just a IBM in relation to the DDD val and also to siphon the CMOS in relation to the next baka. So in time, once we have the working material to insurance the policy, we will along the next relationship to build the governor. So in that way, to build the governor with the lock code and codexing into the NP5 and NP4 by YouTube is an indication of our pacifism to burn into the ISO and to demon the pH level of water holder and to investigate into our IBM Mac and to transcend the screen protector. So in that way, the screen protector is just a touchstone of the alligator and to develop our screensaver for well-born and to isolate into 3, 2, 1 value. So in that way, Monkey Magic, the MK3 and the MK55 3828 is a conversion of the imperial matrix and to divide into the transite. So the next one is that when we hold on to the Gaxasei, we will develop the next inflow to settle the planet Pluto and to invertation into our invader by, you know, and in time, once we do that, the physicist of our own availability is that when we grid the galaxy, we will just see Yoda. May the force be with you. So in so, when we translation the next bio for drinks in relation to Africa and into, then we will know how to rejoice the next drinking system. Mount Franklin. So in that way, when we develop the next edition, we will cover the manifestation of our teleport by Telstra and to indicate where the UBG will identify the blinkers to our modem and to invest in the next mainframe. So the next mainframe of Telecom, we will develop the next superline of our troop to indicate where the pole will be by postcard and to develop the next amendment. So in this way and in so, the force of field will develop the next antigen and to make a light the manifestation. So within this tunnel, the signal of the platform will develop into the aggregation of our graph by what are they called again? Oh, you know, when they look for things, geo thingamajig. I don't remember. So anyway, in that time, when we platform the Nigni, we will develop into the amnesia to develop the next politician to have safety for our work and also for teleconsent of sick pay and to develop the infantile. Because in that way, and in that way, we will redevelop the amnesia in relation to a parallel the Takasan of metro to Karatic, something like that, in the electric sun. Because in that way, the decoction of our law is that the dialect of the Delhi River is the dam of Murphy to develop the next alcohol. But why? What for? They always do it. So how much has been sold then, Murphy? Don't know. So in that way, oh, I can't drink too well. I can only have 3. So when I first drink one, I get pissed straight away, get drunk. So anyway, in that way, the conversion of the delicacy is that the development of the drag queen is to showcase the next television of the Gadia and for Foxtel in relation to reviewing the delicacy. And in that way, our pro class will be manipulated into the ordering system of the DMOC and to transition our own inking system into reharvestation.